is one upfield. It's Waddle once again. He's in a big game. It's a touchdown.
Tua is 100th career touchdown.
This is the Finn Spiegel Postgame Show.
What's up, everybody? Dolphins finally get on the board with the win, 27-21. They pull it out. A little bittersweet tonight. We'll talk about an injury to Tyreek. We'll get into all that, but let's stay positive. They get the win. A lot of the things we said, which team is going to break the curse? A lot of these teams came into the game very similar. Didn't have turnovers, couldn't get to the quarterback, penalty-driven teams. The Dolphins get the turnovers, winning the penalties. I thought it was the difference of the game. Defense still having trouble stopping the run, but they held up in key spots. And I'll tell you, I love what the offense was doing. This is one of my favorite offensive performances from this team in a long time. You utilize Tua's ball handling, freezing the linebackers, a lot of under the center stuff, great stuff. I'm so happy finally, guys, we can talk about a positive win. We're 1-3 in the books with a reeling Carolina Panthers staring at us. And as always, we're live with you guys on YouTube. We got Bobby Shouts for the Dive Bar in the house, Finn Samby from Finn TV, and Jason Sarni bringing out the Finn's Faithful Rivalry logo. He's in the car. Fellas, let's go, baby. We're on the win column. We're in the win column.
This is the Dark Water logo, everybody.
All right, so let's go, man. Start around the horn. We'll start with you, Mr. Bobby Shouts, and we'll go around the horn. How you feeling about tonight's victory?
Yeah, Jason got the rivalry logo. We all got the rivalry hats on. So, you know, we're doing our part.
Yeah.
I did my part.
Yeah, exactly. and the Dolphins did theirs for the most part. Kind of a weird bounce back win that kind of, you know, Tyreek's injury is kind of like leaves you feeling a certain way. But I thought the defense played great, especially considering you know, Justin Fields being the runner he is. They gave up the one play, obviously, but
that was all him, man.
I really thought he was going to have more success today. So, yeah, hats off to Justin Fields. You know, he's good for one of those plays a game. You know, I always said, you know, I can't wait to see this team if we ever get a lead. I want to see what the defense really looks like. And the pass rush started getting home, started heating up a little bit. You know, still need to get home. Obviously, Justin Fields takes away a lot of opportunities as far as actually getting sacks. But the defense started getting home a little more, so I'd like to see that. They were pinning their ears back. Edge rushers still not winning their one-on-ones really in the pass rush, but hopefully that improves. Offense looked great. I just thought they played with their food a little bit more than I wish. I thought they could have got the kill a little earlier, but loved what I've seen. I think Mike McDaniel's 2 weeks in a row had an awesome game plan. The bootleg run action was incredible all night.
Incredible.
I mean, dude, the Waller touchdown wide open, 6'6" running wide
I'm
open.
sorry for whatever I said about Darren Waller.
Hey, and that's another thing. I got on these shows all summer saying he's not going to be Jonnu, but like, let's not act like Waller's a freak of nature. Like that doesn't just go away. Like, in the first place showed why being 6'6", you can't coach it. It doesn't matter if you.
Great throw by Tua. That
was an incredible touch.
That was Tua. Listen, did Tua listen to my last game about superpowers? Because that's what I'm talking about. And on the play, we'll get to Tyreek's injury, and I'm going to go on that play. That's what you saw. He led Tyreek open on that play. Tua, all you got to do is listen to us, man, and we'll lead you in the right direction. All right. Anything else, Bobby?
Just hate to lose Tyreek, obviously, but it was good to see that Waller is going to give us another option. You know, if he can stay healthy, he's definitely going to be a part of the game plan going forward. Also, love seeing some of the flashes from the past, more so. The wheel route to Waddle, beautiful ball from Tua, and just good to see that again. Good to see us getting creative, getting our guys in space, letting them make plays. So all night, like I said, the run game was getting it. H-Chan was awesome. H-Chan is awesome, boys. I mean, unreal. Honestly, like, I don't even know what to say at this point. And they run him hard.
And they kept him. And they kept, look, and we talk about size. This wasn't Ollie's best game, man. This is why when H-Chan's going like that, they kept feeding him, and they kept feeding him late. And so hats off to H-Chan. Hats off to the chat. It's late. Lee's in the house. Miss Finn's TV. Lee, always a big supporter of the show. Love you, Lee. Balake in the house. Luke, Dive Bar's obviously here. Thank you guys. Make sure you share the broadcast. This is the best post-game show to be here on YouTube tonight. All right, let's go with Jason Sarney in the car. Mr. Jason Sarney, your thoughts on tonight's game?
On location.
On location.
It was a great game from HN. Wow, what a performance. One of the highest amount of actual rushes that he's had. Didn't even really utilize him as a pass receiver, but he was just fantastic running the ball. George, you mentioned, the Tua ball handling. I love when they do those ball fake plays, those kind of misdirections, those tosses. It was a thing of beauty. And to add that dynamic of Darren Waller in the red zone, that first touchdown pass, beautiful throw, beautiful catch, just an absolute perfect play. And that second touchdown was really just like a thing of beauty. And the defense. So this was
You're breaking up there, Sonny.
Jets team really. You hear me now? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. We'll go to Sammy, then we'll come back to you. You can finish up your thoughts. Let's go to Sammy first here while you get it all together.
Well, I agree with everything Jason said. To be serious. No.
By the way, shout out Jason on the Teron Armstead show today. Shout out Jason.
Awesome.
Sonny.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Listen, I had my reservations about this game when they said Justin Fields was going to be the quarterback. I felt that this is a win. I feel confident this is a win. But when you had the most rushing yards for a quarterback, 178 ever, and what happens with multiple quarterbacks, and the Dolphins, I'm like, kind of queasy. So the Dolphins still don't know how to stop the run. They're still missing somewhere, like Calais Campbell left, and they forgot how to stop the run, so that sucks. But I thought the gameplay, Mike Davis should be commended the gameplay. The gameplay was good. Tua, everybody saying, well, he's a statue back there. He's not a mobile quarterback. He said, hold my beer, because he's finding a way to move like Fred Astaire and like Dan Marino on those days where you only need to sidestep or an extra play. He throw well on the run today. And of course, A-Chain. When I see A-Chain, for me is conflicted, because I don't want to think that we are wasting the best years of what could be a generational running back for the Dolphins, because the man is always there. The man is always finding ways to extend plays. They run it into that offensive line like he's Jerome Bettis, and he goes backwards, he gets piled on, he gets back up and keeps running. So the A-Chain, man, that guy is a superstar. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does, but it's a great to win. It's a sad day. I've been critical of Tyreek sometimes because, but before the game, he showed leadership. He tried to fry the troops. He played hard before the injury. Every single play, he found a way to play hard. I wanted to say something nice about Tyreek on X, and a couple of minutes later, the injury came. So it's really sad, but we had to concentrate on the win because the Dolphins needed this win. There's no way the Dolphins could go 1-4. Regardless if we're going to make the playoffs or not, that would be devastating. For Steven Ross, like I said before today, it's about the money. It's about the branding and the commercials and stuff. And if the Dolphins in those rivalry units lose tonight, that would have been a huge hit for Steven Ross on the check account. So the Dolphins could not lose today, even on the field or outside the field.
Yeah. Shout out to about over 90 people we have in here. Come on over to YouTube with us. Hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button. Jason Sonny, Bobby Shouts, Finn's TVs, Finn Sammy's in the house. Dolphins get the first victory of the season. Like you mentioned, first let's mention the banner. It was a strong banner, man. This was the strongest banner I think we've seen. It had the triple effect. New quarterback, new GM, new coach. That was strong, whoever did it. But let's get into the Tyreek stuff. We'll start with you, Sonny. You first finish up your thoughts on the game. You went in on, then let's start with the Tyreek. How that looked? That looked season-ending.
Yeah, no, real quick. Back to HN, he was fantastic. 20 carries, second highest rushing attempts in his career. Darren Waller adds a brand new component that Tua really has rarely had. 6'6" target in the end zone. That first catch was beautiful. The throw was right on the money. Waller's second catch was a beautiful play, and the defense forcing a trio of turnovers was really nice to see. The Jets, they shot themselves in the foot a lot with their penalties, their mistakes. But, good teams take advantage of bad teams' mistakes, and the Dolphins prove that they are a better team. How about my guy Jake Bailey in special teams on that last punt to get that ball down to the 2?
was really nice. Yes.
Give a shout out to special teams when
That was beautiful.
That was gorgeous. And Dante Trader Jr. getting the turnover, getting a fumble recovery. Loved seeing that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of the turnovers are key, but yeah, the Tyreek stuff. Go with that, Jason. So you can continue. Just
unfortunately, in typical kind of Dolphin fashion, where we have to take the good, we have a really horrible bad, and that injury, it was gruesome. My God, you got to hope that he is going to eventually be okay. He's obviously probably going to be out for the season, but yeah, I mean, heart goes out to him, and now it's going to be interesting to see what the Dolphins do if they just simply insert Malik into that spot. Jalen Waddle, obviously, now the number one. Maybe you elevate a Taj Washington, see what they do. I don't necessarily think they need to go, outsourcing. Let's bring some of that young receiver talent up. But devastating blow to lose a guy like Tyreek Hill, and it was nice to see him. I think Sammy mentioned it, cheer on the crowd as he was being carted off and really was putting on that smile. Heart goes out. But, yeah, that was just gruesome.
Bobby.
Yeah,
Tyreek,
it's tough.
man.
I think
it was hard to see that. I didn't understand what I was seeing when I was.
I haven't seen it sorry happen. I just can't.
Yeah, I think first I seen my updates always because I don't live local, so I get the update on my phone before I see the play normally, and I seen like huge third down gain, but Tyreek's down on the sidelines, and I just thought I didn't think much of it, and then of course I watched the play happen, and I'm like, oh whoa, that kind of down, boy, oh boy. So I think for his sake, I mean, he's probably done for the year no matter what, but for his sake, with it being a dislocation, he could dodge a lot of bullets. It depends on the damage and how much the knee moving did, because he could really just have in worst case scenario, best case scenario, he could have dodged a lot of bullets if he didn't do a lot of structural damage. It didn't tear ligaments and hurt other things. He could have just really been in a lot of pain. So obviously it's not ideal. I'm not saying it is, but we won't really know until we find out what really got done in there. And it's unfortunate, the best player on our team for several years, and it's never good when you lose a guy that caliber, regardless of what you think of him or all this other stuff. Never good to see.
No. Sammy.
ESPN is confirming basically they said it's okay in knee, like Bobby said, but it's like Bobby said that he's not a young guy. He's not 23. He's not 22. He's over 30. So I would not post him by him. He's an athlete. The guy has a heart of a lion, because no one can say that he's not going to do anything to come back to train everything. That has never been his problem. So I expect him to come back and to come back the better form of himself. On Dollar Warrior, Bobby should be commended, because Bobby was a huge believer on Dollar Warrior, and he proved it tonight. I have my doubts and still get the first game back, but Dollar Warrior should be commended. Like I think George said it the other day, that the presence of the guy on the field as he towers over everyone, that he's so big, that's the physicality equals or is more than whatever the lack of time of preparation he had the last couple of years. So the guy is a natural athlete. They were not prepared for that for sure, because he was open so many times. So she should be commended for finding a way to come back. And the Dolphins, who I and so many criticized by taking it slow with him, we're proving right tonight, because the Dolphins did not pressure him. They waited as long as they needed, and they were proving they were doing the right thing. So that's important too.
He looked good.
Yes.
He did look good. He was moving around. He was getting the first catch, the one that wasn't a touchdown. Hit this guy, got to the top of the stem, physical, dodge contact, and cut inside. It all looked there, man. It all looked put together. That was nice to see.
When the Dolphins traded for Tyreek, the first thing they tried to do before that was actually find a way to get that water to the Dolphins. When they couldn't, they did the Tyreek trade that took the money away, and he never became a Dolphin. But the Dolphins could have had that water a couple of years ago. It would have been interesting what would have happened. Of course, we got the cheetah, and we never looked back. But it's interesting that for at least for 2 quarters, they find a way to basically play together after that 2022, I believe it was.
Yeah, and then boy, and I said on the play, Tyreek looked good tonight. They looked in sync, man. He was throwing them open. It looked good, and
that's what sucks about it. He was hyped. He was focused. He was playing hard. He took leadership before the snap. After every play, he played hard. It's sad that, and I like when he gave it his all, he goes down. And we maybe have seen the last play of Tyreek Hill as a Miami Dolphins. Who knows? But it's sad. When you look at it, it's really sad because he gave his all. If that was the last game, he gave his all, and the Dolphins got to win, and he was a big part of it.
I mean, look, we can talk about all the good stuff tonight, but what do you think? How does this change the offense? So do you think this now, Jason, they lean more heavily on the run game? A lot of the stuff we saw tonight, you guys mentioned all the ball fakes and the jabs. This is what Tua is really good at. This is what, like, we go to Quinn Ewers as the backup. The one thing Quinn Ewers had in college was he's also a good ball faker and ball handler. Like this kind of stuff, you saw the linebackers getting frozen, letting Tua cook and does what he does well. I tell you, Bobby, I agree. Mike's been in his bag the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Like, he's been calling. Something clicked for him, and he realized my ass is on the line. I got to do something. And he's been really good. And I'm the first one to criticize Mike or Tua, but when it's a good game and a good call, you got to call it like it is, man. And they really, the last couple games, especially this game for Tua. I mean, he wasn't at his best, but I like the efficiency he played with and how you use him. And when you run the ball, and when they see it's a threat, what it does to open up their short zone passes. Tua is massive at the RPO game. It was under center, play action. Tua doesn't need to think. He just needs to react. And I thought Dan Orlovsky said it the best is he's best when he's going forward. It's kind of like what we talked about, Jason, we were breaking down that film. On those plays that he was doing those dumps to A-Chain instead of going forward and attacking and dumping those passes into Malik Washington when they're covered by two layers of the zone versus Buffalo. What he did with Darren Waller. I'm going to tell you right now, there's not many quarterbacks who can throw that ball that accurately to it. Because there was a safety underneath there, right?
Yeah.
How does this change the offense, Bobby, with Tyreek out? Or Jason, either one of you guys.
Yeah, Jason, you got it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it should change it that much. Obviously, when you have a guy like Tyreek, he's just another level of a type of a player. What up, Curtis? But I love the fact that you run 31 times. Ollie Gordon didn't have the greatest game, but you ran him 6 times. But Achane was phenomenal. More of those ball fakes. I loved what Tua was doing with those misdirections and those kind of, ball skills that he's been showing off. And now losing Tyreek, but seeing what Waller can add into the equation is really big. Especially in the red zone. I would hope that Malik Washington gets a little bit more of that, he'll take over for Tyreek right now because he was right behind Tyreek on the depth chart. Waddle obviously is going to be probably the more heavily targeted receiver, and I'd like to see maybe Taj Washington slide into the Malik role, so to speak. Maybe have him return some punts, return some kicks, and save Malik out of the special teams role, get him more integrated into the receiving game. But Achane is proving that he is one of, if not the best dual threat running backs in this league. It's almost like he's the next version of Alvin Kamara. And, I went into this game thinking, you know what? I don't love seeing him run in between the tackles so much. Forget that. That's out of the way. He's awesome. He's fantastic. Get him the ball, 20 touches a game. That'll be fantastic at the least. And, if they can keep Darren Waller on this, on the trajectory, that would be great. Let's get 2 touchdowns in the red zone again. That would be awesome.
He can even fall off a little bit.
Exactly. But, Mike has 2 straight excellently called games, and I think this is a game that the defense got a little bit more of that moxie back. Yeah, they beat up on a bad team, but you know what? They beat up on the team. So offensively, I don't think there's going to be that much of a change philosophically. But let's see if they do go out into the open market and try to bring another person in. I don't necessarily think that they should. I'd like to see what they have with their young receivers still.
All right, before we get to the rest of you guys on how to cheat, let's get in Curtis, bringing Curtis here. Curtis, what's up, man?
A win.
A win. We'll talk about Jonah. There's a couple Jonah plays in there.
Yeah. Look.
Well, let's stay positive here.
Yeah, let's stay positive.
Your thoughts on the win, then get into the Tyreek injury stuff, but your thoughts kind of on the game overall, and then jump into the Tyreek injury stuff.
I'm just glad to be on with you guys. I actually am rushing to do my thing to get it out just so I can hang out with you guys. Look, Jets are a terrible team. You fumble going into the end zone. You fumble on the kick return to open the second half, and you get to push off. Bad team. But for me, I think the most critical thing that fans should be positive about is that you can see clearly the philosophy that works in modern NFL. You could see, Tua had that one miss to Wallow over the middle, but you could see where when he's a piece of the puzzle, he's facilitating. He's not being, dialed in on. There's a lot of problems with the Dolphins today, but from a philosophical standpoint, there's a lot of us been talking about run the football, play, legitimate play action. You say Tua can only be successful in quick throwing. Well, that release works in other ways too. And something I've been talking about is the legit play action, and the tight end plays a massive part. That pass he had to Waller for the first touchdown was beautiful. And it's not to say Tua is the greatest thing since sliced bread and he's whatever, but you could be the best that he could be.
His superpower.
Yeah,
that's it.
And Mike McDaniel's a run game coordinator. So Greer's philosophy, whether it was imposed with McDaniel or was imposed on him by Greer, whatever it was, if we had a little more of this in 22 and 23, just think what we could have done. But it does show that the right framework uplifts all the pieces. So I don't think we're going really far. Maybe, you never know. You got to look, we're in it now, but the defense is bad, and there's problems on you. But the philosophy, and I think that fans should take the most from that. Understand? Look, H had a couple of big runs, but there was a lot of bad, not good, well blocked runs. But it was the attempts. I think we had more rushing attempts than pass attempts. It's the attempts. I did a podcast and showed that this year, 8 out of 10 teams with the top 10 rush attempts are winning records, and eight of the teams, top 10, the bottom 10 teams in rushing attempts are losing. It's about that balance. And so it was good to see. It was good to see them in the black uniforms. I like that. So look, you got to take the positives from it. We'll see how it plays out long term. The Hill thing was horrific. I'm not a big Hill fan as a person, but seeing that, man, it was grisly. And I was so impressed that when he got off that cart that he was actually smiling. They must have jacked him up with so much stuff. Or he's just a Superman. That leg was so damaged. I mean, there's things that we can talk about later about that, but that was terrible. And so it'll be an effect, I think. But
hold on. Frank, we got
a full house now.
Full house. Frank, we got to win, Frank.
I don't know how good I am. I could actually talk while I'm in the back of an Uber, but they got to win. I mean, it was a game of two teams that didn't look like they had any clue what they were doing. And it goes to the eternal lesson. As bad as the Dolphins are, the Jets will always be worse.
Amen.
So you're not optimistic on this, Frank, are you?
No. I mean, the Jets almost had a walk-in touchdown. The Jets fumbled. The Jets fumbled 3 times. Their special teams was very special. I mean, a fair catch at the 3-yard line, a fumble on a ball that was going to get kicked out of bounds, but the Jets were going to start the ball at the 40. And the guy... the Jets had 100 yards of penalties. I mean, the Dolphins won because the Jets were just bad, really bad, and undisciplined. Justin Fields doesn't look like Justin Fields might be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. I mean,
so you're not taking anything positive like this is a trend that could. You're still on get rid of McDaniel. Get rid of all that. Nothing's much changed for you after this game, Frank.
Nothing has changed. Nothing at all.
So, what did anything impress you at all in this game with the Dolphins? Anything?
No. A-Chan looked good, but the defense was terrible. I mean, the Jets Justin Fields is as bad as quarterback as possible. And come on, he can't throw. So with the way he was running, the Jets had 1 punt the whole game.
Yeah, no, 1 punt.
I mean, it was just 2 bad football teams out there, and the Jets are just inept.
What did you think of the Tyreek? Are the Jets worse than the Mets?
Well, the Mets are just underachievers. They don't care. That's the problem. The Mets have no heart, no grit, no guts.
Frank,
The Marlins only scored in 2 innings, but whenever things go bad for the Mets, they just self-destruct. The Mets just don't have any toughness, no mental fortitude. It's no balls.
I'm sorry. I'm a Marlins fan. I live down here in Miami. I'm sorry, Frank, for that eliminating you guys.
I'm sorry for you. You got a loser organization that's anytime any players good. They're like a Division I college football team. The player's gonna leave, go pro.
No arguments here. No arguments here, Frank. All right, the Tyreek injury, Frank. That was devastating, though, huh? No matter what you think of the guy.
Yeah, you don't want to see him get hurt. Yeah, you wanted the Dolphins to be able to trade him. I mean, you wanted him to have a chance to go play on a winning team for his sake. But that's a bad injury. I don't know what they're going to do with that contract. I mean, they're saying it's a dislocated knee. Is that what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe dislocated knee.
I guess that's better than what it could have been. It depends if any of the ligaments are torn. If the ligaments are torn, he's done.
They probably were.
But I think he's played his last game for the Dolphins.
Yeah. No.
And what strikes me is he was smiling as he's leaving the field. I mean, it's almost like I don't have to deal with Tua anymore.
Oh, did anybody else have that effect? Anybody have any questions for Frank the Tank in the house? Go ahead, Jason. I know you.
Frank, I'll ask you. Look, obviously, the defense let up a lot of yardage, a lot of rushing yards. They've been having trouble against these running backs. How do you fix the defense from just stopping these dual threat running backs?
I don't know, but I just know one thing. I'm excited that on my fantasy team I have Chuba Hubbard.
That answers my question. So obviously it's going to be another couple of weeks until any fixing is happening. And for Bijan Robinson owners, just wait. You got a couple of weeks until he pops off.
There's no fixing the Dolphins other than completely tearing it down. I said at the beginning of the year the Dolphins are going 4-13. This was one of the games I thought they'd win. They won it. I mean, I thought they'd be about 2-2 by now. I thought they'd actually win the Patriot game. But then that schedule gets very tough. It gets very tough. And then the losses are going to mount. I mean, the Jets will get revenge in December unless the Jets are completely inept, which is possible because the Jets just are just such a special type of bad today. Just the penalties. I mean, I thought I was watching Mike McDaniel with the confusion.
You got to give some credit to Mike, though, Frank. I thought he's been better the last few games. Whether you think it's a solution or not, you don't think Mike's been better the last few games, or just
no? It's more the opponent. They played a banged up Bills team, and the Jets are just inept, incompetent. I mean, there's somebody at Barstool named Ben Klein who says I should stop being a Dolphin fan and just join the Jets, and it's like, no. I mean, as bad as the Dolphins are, the Jets are inept. I mean, there is no hope in the Jets. No matter what they do, it's going to fail.
Yeah. I guess Bonnie's reporting that, they're reporting Hill does have torn ligaments as well. That looked nasty.
Torn ACLs?
Torn ligaments. I don't know if anybody.
It's at least a year and a half, or
at the very least. It was brutal. Like
the other way. There's 3 ligaments in the knee. The ACL is the one that ends seasons. I think it's the LCL. The
MCL and the PCL.
oh yeah, the MCL. The MCL is the one that the MCL is the one that you can recover from and maybe come back in about 8 weeks. The PCL. Now, if that gets torn, you're done. And that was the injury that Dante Culpepper had. And the Dolphins said, we trust that.
Well, Frank, what would you do now with the offense? How's this going to change? You think we were asking the question earlier? How's this going to change the offense without Tyreek? You think they go more run heavy now?
Yeah, you should, because Devon Achan's a star. Ollie Gordon looks like he's a good back. But the offense, and I got to give him credit. The offensive line did a good job tonight. The offensive line didn't go, oh, no, it could be just a jet suck.
What did you think about that? It's a separated knee. He's F for a while. Great job.
Oh, yeah, it's easy year and a half.
Great seeing Jason at Patty Wax. Might be our Independence Hall in the Philly area.
Real quick, just a shout out to Big E.
Tyreek Hill will never play another game for the Miami Dolphins. That's the one thing he'll play out this year, or he'll be on IR the rest of the year. And the Dolphins will have to see about a buyout or what they can do with that contract.
Yeah. Because I think the injury clause will keep him locked into next year. So it's going to have to be something probably. I think. I'm no expert, though.
You are.
Well, the injury clause could get the Dolphins could see that if he's too injured, maybe they could end his contract and they'll pay him out, pay him off, and get that cap space.
Yeah, Jason, what were you going to say? You want to shout out something?
No, real quick. I see Beast Mike. I was there over at Patty Wax to see Big E and a good crew watching the game. So, Big E, just get better. All the best. He's a trooper.
Yes.
Ghost did a great job putting that together. So, appreciate you, Beast Mike. And it was nice watching with some fellow Finn fans in the Northeast of the country.
Yeah, give us something.
Yeah, I got to get out the Slatteries one day this year.
Yeah, you do, Frank. Absolutely. You could also get involved in the MetLife takeover. We would love to see you there, man. I try to
go once a year. The Slatteries, but it's so bad that I don't even have the hunger to go.
When's up? You should come down fan weekend, Frank. When's that, Sammy? October.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, October 12th. Yeah, you should come down.
I don't know if I'll be able to make it down to Miami this.
All right, Frank.
I'll try to make it down to a game in this year at some point.
Which game you thinking?
Something positive. Well, they're not going to go winless. And I think I'm starting to lose connection driving here in Jersey. But I was glad to be able to come on for a couple of minutes at least.
All right, we appreciate it. Predict the win. Do you think it's a win? They go 2-3 in Carolina next week.
No.
Oh.
No.
All right, so Frank says they're going 1-4.
Over under on Hubbard fantasy points. 29, 30?
I think the leagues that have people who have Chuba Hubbard should be dancing right now.
Jason, do you have him?
I don't.
Who has him in our league? Bobby's got everybody who was the best available pickups. Bobby Schouston's got him.
I got 11 fantasy teams, so I know I got Chuba Hubbard on one of them.
Frank, you got to start learning to say no to these people, bro.
11? How many do you have two on?
None.
A-Chain, you got some. I know that. You got some A-Chain stock.
I got A-Chain on one. I actually have Tyreek Hill on one. That's over with. I have Jalen Waddle on one.
Oh, yeah.
Waddle stock up, though. Waddle stock way up.
Yep. I got here's one for you. I got Josh Allen.
I got Allen on his team too.
Damn, We won tonight, Frank. We won. All right, Frank, bro.
Yeah. So let's not win too many of these games. We want a good draft pick.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Who's your favorite quarterback in college? Do you have one?
Arch Manning. I'm willing to wait Arch Manning 2-3 years, whatever it takes. Or you know who else? I'll tell you someone else I like. And he's even behind Arch Manning. C.J. Carr.
C.J. Carr?
Yep.
I'm talking about more of the guys this year. Sellers, John,
No,
Mateer.
we're not going to draft a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
Let's build it right. Let's build it slowly. If we get a good draft pick, trade down and get more draft picks, and then maybe next year look at the quarterback.
Yeah. Well,
There's no quick fix.
Yeah, it is.
I agree.
But we can feel good. I mean, it's been
All right, I think I'm starting to break up, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Frank. Thanks for hopping on, man. Yeah,
Always a pleasure.
All right, talk to you later.
I think Frank's my spirit animal.
Hey, the thing about Frank
Yeah,
is Frank's
there's
gonna,
two for two, Frank. Dang.
hey, Frank has his moments where you just gotta laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there is a special place for Met and Dolphin fans. That's just, I'll tell you, man.
He did not like me bringing up the Marlins eliminating those Mets.
Oh, boy.
He cooked the shit out of you. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like, shut up. Just shut up.
He said, "Yeah, y'all are Division I college. Basically, them kids are all going to grow up and go to a real pro team."
I will say the future's looking bright for the Miami Marlins. The future's looking bright, but, you know.
But I didn't want to argue with Frank.
No.
Because I remain quiet. But let's be honest here. Tua was smiling too.
Sammy. Sammy's got.
I'm just saying, if Tyreek was smiling after it happened, Tua was smiling too.
Well,
I'm just saying.
They did report that Tua was going off the field. There was Tua chance. So then this fan base is so wishy-washy. They turn on you 1 second, they love you the next. You know.
Of course.
So, Curtis, you know, we talked a lot. I thought we talked a lot in our countdown to, you know, if nobody's watching that show, they're crazy. Because I mean, we break it down. Me and Curtis, we go down and dirty. Our hands get dirty in that.
Man, you get in there, man, with that emotion.
We get in there.
I can't do that, man. I get uncomfortable. I start shifting.
Wait a minute. What do we say? Turnover battle, I formation, play action, short passes, all the things that they had to win, they did. How did you think Tua did in this game personally? Did you like the stuff, the ball handling and all that stuff?
Look, this is what he should have been. Look, you should have, in 2022, if you weren't a lobotomized monkey that was high on acid, you would have said, I'm taking all these picks and I'm going to build around Bob Greasy style quarterback. I'm not going to go hot and heavy and mortgage, a draft and a half on two receivers and try to turn him into Dan Marino. You look at what he had in college, you're not going to have the same thing, but that's what he is best at. And he can do well. He is a system quarterback. He doesn't have the elite traits, but this is what they should have been doing for a long time. And you know what? You might say, hey, look, Tua can't do it in a big game or whatever, but he would have won a playoff game. He would have looked a lot better. He wouldn't have the same polarity that we got right now. He would have been way more effective, likely less beat up. And, all football is about teamwork and framework and leverage. How do you build this thing? And so you don't take a guy who's like a 7 to an 8 with the right framework and try to make him Dan Marino, who's 10 out of 10 in any framework. I think, I don't know if it's true or not, but Bob Walsh says, Montana's a system quarterback. It was a system for him, but Dan Marino fits any system. I don't know if he really said that. They're not sure. It's kind of floating back and forth. But generally speaking, you could put, especially when Dan was young, the first 5-6 years, he was highly mobile. But Tua's not that guy. But you don't always get the Allens and the Mays, like the May looks like he's really good too. You don't get those guys, the Mahomes, all the time. So you got to build the right team and you keep shooting at these quarterbacks. Look at San Fran. They sold us the picks, 3 first-round picks and some back-end picks for Lance. He crapped out and they're still winning more than we are. Why? Because they had the team. They had the right leadership. and we got bubkiss. And so this team is really bad. They handed us a game. But if you just look at the framework and the possibilities in that, then you can kind of backtrack and say, oh, well, maybe this wasn't the right thing. Maybe this guy could have done something. Why don't you get him? Everybody's been saying since, like the flood, tight end is a quarterback security blanket. So why are you wasting a whole pick on Hill, 2 firsts on Waddle? You got no tight ends, really kibosh offense of line. And, it just made no sense. And so I think that the key is you just got to see from a football standpoint, the rationality of understanding what football's like. Weaver, I loved Weaver. I might marry Weaver just for this statement. He said, all problems are solved through violence. I've been saying that for years. The game is violence. It's a great quote.
Wait, was that him trying to put his hat in the internet coach?
Oh, yeah. But it's the truth.
That's called politicking.
It's like the football is always comes down to the phone booth. It changed a little bit during the fumble era, but that era was dying. Like I said, I'm just a YouTuber guy who's got OCD and I study all the time. And I've been saying it for 3 or 4 years, dude, the cycle's changing. Look at this thing. And I'm a schmuck. You got a guy who's making $10, $15 million a year. He's living in football. He's got all these voices and he can't figure it out. I mean, how stupid do you got to be? And so it's just very simple. Game of football is about the trenches. It's about punching people in the face, force them in the phone booth, and then taking their goods when you're there and leaving them on the ground. And that's what we've got to get to. And this tonight against a bad team, it showed you what the possibilities are, even for a guy you might not like Tua. Because even if you get the next quarterback and draft him and you build wrong, it's going to be another cycle. We'll be talking the same thing in 3 or 4 years. So I think there's a lot of good out of this game, not about this year, but for fans to be unified, fans to be together. We're fans. We're supposed to be like a sort of family. And when we're divided between this player and that player and this thing and that thing, we're fighting among ourselves. The old days with Dan Marino, you'd be hating the Jets and the Bills and whoever else. You would have very little time and you wouldn't have any interest in arguing with each other that much. And I would just want us to get back there. And this game at least should say, hey, we built like a jackass. That says a lot. Let's build right and see what happens. Maybe with Tua, maybe without Tua, certainly without Greer, maybe without McDaniel. I'm not a big McDaniel fan. So that's it. My 2 cents. I'm ranting. Never mind.
Yeah, forget.
I'll keep going on screaming for an hour. My wife's not going to go, what's wrong, honey?
Guys, forget Weaver.
Why are you yelling in there all the time? I'm like, that's what I do.
Let's forget Weaver. Let's make Curtis the defensive coordinator. All right, so
I'll be the cheerleader. I'd be a good cheerleader. I'd even shave my legs. Kill him, die. Kill him, die. Hit him, hurt him.
This is going off the rail here. I can't even bring it back up. We got over 140 people on our platforms. Make sure you guys come on over YouTube, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, other good stuff. Help support us here. We got Bobby Shouts from the Diver. We have Frank the Tank in the house. He was in an Uber, back of an Uber. He's not very positive on let's just say the least.
He had a lot of good points, though. I think he had a lot of good points.
Sammy, give some positivity, Sammy. We need some positivity here. People say I'm too negative. Help me out here.
Listen, a win is a win. To be perfectly honest, I'm the one who said, I went on and said this team was going to end up being 4-4. So now they're 1-3. They had to go to Carolina, who's not a great team. They can. Bobby, you're gonna be there, right? You're gonna be there next week.
Yeah,
Carolina. So
yes,
I think they can win the game. They can win the game.
Oh, that's right. You're going to that game.
Herbie is coming to Miami. That might be rough, but they lost to the Giants, so anything can happen. And you take one win at a time.
Joel's out too. The 2 tackles.
Yeah.
You take one win at a time, and if something was proven tonight is that the Dolphins still have a motivated Tua, because he should be commended for what he did tonight. He took a lot of flack this week from me and so many others, and he found a way to be poised. He was in control. He looked better than his look the whole season. He threw well on the move. He looked poised. He did a good job. We still have Devon Achane, who can break a touchdown in every run, because that's his superpower. Ollie Gordon didn't have the best game tonight, but he's still there and he's still growing. And with Darren Waller, if you can play if you can get one touchdown a game, that would be awesome. I don't think they can do it every single week, but he gets a completely different dimension. So
the threat of it, though, Sammy, is going to be huge. The threat of a Waller red zone touchdown
changed the game.
Wait, that last throw, too, wouldn't have threw that if it was Julian Hill or Tanner Connor. If he did, it would have been intercepted.
And more importantly, the penalties, it was something you talk. I think I talked with George. What he needed to do. The penalties went down today. The team looked more prepared, more in control, more disciplined at both sides of the ball. And they need to do that if we're going to win games. So, they passed the test. They did everything we said they needed to do to win, and they found a way to win. It looked kind of funny at the end, but they found a way to win. So 1 week at a time, they're 1-3. Let's move on to Carolina, and let's see what happens.
Let's take a look at the penalties. The Dolphins had only 6 penalties for 40 yards. Jets 13 penalties for 1-on-1.
That was a killer for them. That killed them.
Actually, third down efficiency, we were 4 for 12. They were 4 for 9. I thought that was going to be big.
Hey guys, I don't have many contacts. I'm not really a contacting guy. I'm kind of like the outsider, but I have one who's actually knows people in the building, and he just texts me. He says it's really bad that Hill's probably going to be gone this year and next year. It's really, really serious. Wow. I'm not saying it's 100%, but he's legit, and he he knows people in the building. So
you want to join? Sure, but let's you guys down for? Let me send the link here in the chat. Go ahead, but while I'm setting that up, give me something positive, Sarni. We're going to the Carolina game. How good are you feeling? How much is just the Jets, and how much was the Dolphins tonight?
It's a really good question. Look, you want me to give you a percentage? No, the Dolphins are better than the Jets. That's 1,000%. The Jets made a lot of mistakes. The Dolphins gave up a lot of yardage.
Go ahead.
It's much more of a reason. It's much more of the Dolphins are better and played better overall to get the win than the Jets. Fine, sure, no problem. But I think that they're going to beat Carolina. I think that Carolina is another bad team. I own Achane a lot more than Hubbard. I don't own Hubbard anyway, so I can't wait for Achane's game. But I think that they should go on the road and take care of business against the Panthers. And look, to skip ahead to the Charger game, that's going to break the internet. Tua versus Herbert, no matter what happens.
Is Alt out a long time? Is he out a while?
High ankle sprain. I don't know. That could be.
Alt.
Okay.
Sometimes those high ankles, man, he's a monster.
That whole line. That's
when you're that big.
Rashawn Slater also hurt. So,
lost Slater.
If he's out,
I'll tell you that Hampton's starting to look good, man. Hampton started. I knew that was
he's
coming.
A monster.
Listen, the Dolphins are going to have to stop running backs. They have not been able to do that yet. Every single one of these running backs have gone over 100 total yards from scrimmage, pretty much. And I'm almost more nervous about Hampton than I am about Herbert. So skipping ahead to the Charger game, but there are positives to take away from this game for sure. There are obviously things that you got to tighten up. The offensive line had another very solid performance.
I would disagree.
Oh boy, we'll see on Saturday.
They didn't allow a sack, so that's where I'm taking it as a win. You know? But you're the technicality guy. You're the guy who could really break this down better than me. So
sort of, maybe.
No, 100%. 100%.
We got a special guest who's a loyal listener to the show. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? First of all, thank you for always being in the chat. Thank you for always supporting the show, man. I appreciate that. How you doing, man? Let it vent.
Let it rip.
Let her go, man. Are you can't hear us?
No, I'm good now. I always forget to mute the YouTube part when I join the stream.
All right, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I love listening to all you guys. You guys are all awesome, man. I just gotta say, man, I am not convinced with the win at all.
So you're a little Frank the Tankish on us. You feel like Frank. Bring it. Let us know.
I don't. It just wasn't it should not have come down to the wire there at the end. I feel like we should have just completely taken over in the third quarter, and we didn't. And I'm just not convinced yet. It doesn't look good.
What did you think? What did you think tonight, though? Like, are you believing in the offense? How kind of the philosophy changed?
Well,
I don't know.
It's hard. It's really hard to go off of what we just saw. I mean, Waller, how much of an effect is he really going to be in the next few games? I mean, people are going to adjust to that now that Reek's gone, and I don't know. It's hard to tell, man.
What did you?
Well, let me come back. Let me add to that. Let me add to that.
You guys go ahead and ask anybody you want. Go ahead.
Losing Tyreek Hill, kind of middle part of the game, so the air was deflated, but they still was able to, keep it going. And to your point, you're absolutely right that teams are going to figure out Waller, right? But you need to get. I'm going to keep on saying it. Don't sleep on Malik Washington being able to mask the loss of Tyreek a little bit, because I think this kid, when giving more opportunity, look, he's getting multiple rushing attempts on top of now increasing his target share. And now with Tyreek out and him starting in that role, likely, I'd want to see 6, 7, 8 targets to him to see if it could keep on moving the offense. And I really would like to see Jalen Waddle step up and be the number 1 wide receiver that he's being paid as, because this is him and Tua now getting back to hopefully a lot more of a connection. And if we can get back to like 2 years ago, Waddle, I think this could really help. So you're not wrong, but I do think that the offense could still churn and go ahead even though losing Tyreek.
I will say I was impressed with the Strange and Bourne for the most part tonight.
Yeah, I think look. I will say this. I always say this. I know the offensive Curtis is going to kill me on this because he makes sure to
I know really Curtis is the
Curtis is such a the O line.
I watch all you guys, bro. You guys are all great.
Oh, really? Thanks.
You guys.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I watched a lot of the NFL games on Sunday when we didn't play. Dude, there's quarterbacks getting pressured everywhere. There's no clean pockets, man. You got to make – Tua tonight made some plays. He got out, and it's subtle, but you have to do that. We don't have the best offensive line, but for the most part, I don't think we lost the last game because of the offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, what Tua did tonight, what was Tua? Tua was 17 of 25, 177, 2 tutties, 0 picks. A-Chain, 5.3 yards on 18 carries. That's the formula. And a bend but don't break defense. Call the game plan for that. That's because look, they were gushing us in the running game.
Bobby likes that bend but don't break.
Bend but don't break.
But the thing I would like to add though is that the hardest part with understanding the offensive. Hey, buddy, what's going on, dude?
Is he sold on the win? That's the most important thing. Is he sold on the win? And he leaves. I love it.
Is he a Dolphins fan?
Mom is a Seahawks fan, so we're still trying to win him over here.
Fair enough.
Well,
he said, "I'm probably going to be your fan."
Look,
Dolphins or Seahawks, brother?
No, you're not.
Dolphins.
I'm thirsty.
You're thirsty. Okay.
I'm going.
Where were we here? Jason, go ahead. Was it Jason speaking?
Oh no! I was saying the hardest part about so somebody will say, "Oh, they don't get pressures." Pressures are bad. If you look at the offensive line, it sets the table, and so that table, as it's being set, then you've got to check it against the defense. And so with this defense, they were getting killed on man coverage because they just really can't do anything else. They lack so much. And so Tua did get some pressures. There were a lot of breakdowns, but we got the ball out so quick because they got one cover guy, no linebackers, and one decent safety. And so the hardest part with the offensive line, I had somebody, like I said, they were saying the Dolphins are the 11th best offensive line in the league. And I went by their metrics and it didn't fit you can't just say, well, it's very hard. It's very, very hard because Tua gets the ball out so quick, and what we do to get it out quick offsets a lot of stuff. But there will be teams that will be able to have enough talent to slow that down, and they'll be able to stop the runs. This is the 32nd missed tackle team, a bottom 10 or bottom 5 run defense, and you could see how they were getting gassed and frustrated. And then you tackle all this stuff. It's. I think, but I'm not saying I'm right. I think it's more of an illusion. When you go back, you look. Strange was terrible. Jonah was terrible. Borum had some good run blocks, but he was terrible in pass block. Brewer couldn't move guys, but he had some plays. Paul struggled in the run blocking department, but he had a great pass blocking game. But there's a lot of stuff that's involved, and I think that the quick take, in my opinion, is wrong. Yeah, we haven't had pressure the 2 games, but they really didn't do that well when you get into it and you start looking at the film. And so Jonah is going to continue to be the worst left guard in the game. And Strange, when you get a set, they don't have, when you start getting a real front and a linebacker group, he got blown up a couple of times. So I think that the fact that McDaniel stayed with it, although there were breakdowns, really showed something for him, but there were a lot of breakdowns. And this is a terrible team, and I think you'll see it get more and more exposed. And without Hill, when you put Hill out there, it changes the leverage. McDaniel's got to change his entire offense. Westbrook or Washington flanked out, they don't have the speed. And so it's going to change a lot of stuff. Defenses, and they came in thinking Hill, and now they got this whole thing. They got to adjust on the fly when a team's got a whole week to say, oh, Hill's out of here. I got him. Only one guy can go deep. I could double him and start working underneath stuff. And you give him a better defensive front. It's going to be because you said Ali. I thought Ali had a great game, but he was tackled behind the line. He broke some tackles. He had a great game. But he doesn't fit with a bad offensive line as well as an Achane who just gets into space. And he does break tackles on the move, but it's that speed that spreads things out. And he's able to make big guys need you.
What I mean by that is when Ollie's not creative. He's not going to create when you said when there's no space.
No.
So this wasn't his best games in terms of that. But Achane can create in space. And now you saw that tonight. And I love how they kept going. 18 carries. I'm against that, really, but tonight I was like, okay, this game you had it going, and what did I tell you on that show? I said, even if you run it this many times, you might be setting up the tape for the next team and the next team after that, and I think that's what they're doing because we went under center more. I give you Curtis credit that they needed to go under center more, right?
I was saying that for a bit.
Yeah, and they went under center, and Tua's play action and his ball handling is fantastic. It freezes those linebackers. He is a master at the RPO.
Yeah.
Master. And we kind of got away from the RPO, really. And
we died this year.
We got too caught up in the greatest show on turf. Then they figured it out, and then we were forcing our way to McDaniel's kind of being stubborn and proving, we can get it back. I can counter. Then he kind of realized, all right, shoot, let's go back to what the quarterback did. Well, Bobby, give me something positive going into Carolina, man. How you feel? All right, I asked Jason this question. What does this change for you? Anything? Does this move the needle for you, or this is about what you thought was going to happen, and they'll go 2-3, and we'll win 7 games and pick 15th overall?
I mean, it doesn't negatively affect my opinion of the team, but I don't think it's like a needle mover. Like, we're probably still like a bubble playoff team, right? So, that's just where we are. That's the best case scenario. It's always been. But I will say this. I'm not totally out because we lost Tyreek, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, and it's never a great thing when you lose someone like Tyreek. But statistically speaking, a lot of times, Tua's actually been way better when he's not force-feeding Tyreek the ball. And Waddle is I'm talking about, he's on Tyreek's level when he's the number 1 receiver and he's fed consistently. So, to me, I think that would be my positives. And then Waller, of course. And clearly, next week there'll be a different game plan, and people will be like, okay, so now we do actually have to game plan for Waller. But I think the offense can do just as good, especially if, like we all said, they can continue to try to build off of the run game. Because if you can build off the run game, those passes are still going to be there. Guys should be open. You can benefit from that. So That would be my positives. The defense, I don't know what the hell's going on with the run game.
They suck.
I just don't get it though. Like, because look,
Zach Suter. When did Zach Suter? I mean, every game in the first quarter, I watch a game. There's a play he's getting manhandled, single block.
That's why I don't just get it. It's
He had
like
a couple plays. I seen Grant get tossed around a bunch of times.
A lot,
too, man.
yeah. He had some good pass rush, but he's got the old woman chest.
Oh, what?
He's got the 80-year-old woman chest. He needs to build that pectoral muscle up. He's got a double D in the wrong way.
Crazy.
No, but I mean, it's the run. It's the run game. I mean, it's teams are. Did you see what they were doing in the first quarter? 6 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends.
Oh, I know.
They're like, "Hey, we're going after you guys. Nothing you can do about it." And that fumble. You know what it reminds me of?
The first half is brutal, bro.
It reminded me of that fumble Javon Holland caused versus with the first game of the year. How it changed, how he won on that play. So this kind of felt like that. Sam, you were nodding your head about Tyreek Hill or Waddle really stepping up. Did you want to add on that? Like,
I agree. I agree completely. I think it was last year or maybe the year before. I don't know if it was one game is the Jets. They said that Dolphins are done. Tyreek is not playing. I think he plays a game or 2 games, and Waddle steps it up because when he's the main man, and Tua. I don't know what is it because Tua sees the game at the field differently, and Waddle finds a way to get open more, or the complete offense changes. So we'll see. Sometimes addition by subtraction. You cannot replace Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying they're going to be better, but they're going to be different. And if the league has found a way to figure out the Dolphins offense, and now they have to forcibly change it because Tyreek is not there, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I think it comes down to
good. Different could be a good thing.
No, it's always better. Like Barney still says.
Wait, I feel like sometimes, like, it's a bit. Don't get me wrong. It's always awesome to have Waddle and Tyreek. Like, no one would be mad about having that situation. But sometimes when you have something so you consider such a strength, you try to lean into it too hard, which I think is what we've done over the past and haven't developed the run game. Like Curtis was saying earlier, this is a run game coordinator, and you've never developed that part of the offense. Now you finally are. I believe you have to continue to develop it, and good thing they already got a head start because it seems like they really are trying to do that. Yeah. And then McDaniel has a lot of new ways where he's bringing the same stuff but making it look different, and it's got defenses confused. I don't know. We might look back and say that this was like not quite as drastic as the cheat motion, but McDaniel's doing something right now that's got defenses confused. Yeah, he has created a new wrinkle that has given us some success in the run game, even without a good O-line. I think that's how you could say that. Without even having a good O-line, the misdirection, the touchdown HN had, that was a great setup. But
Jason, I agree with what Bobby said. Yeah, I mean, 27, 30 rushes a game. Amortize those carries between HN, Gordon. If you want to throw it, out to a receiver to do like one of those sweeps or one of those toss plays, great. But yeah, you're not going to have Tyreek Hill to get back to that 2023 offense, obviously. So use your weapons in a little bit of a different way. And I definitely think the ground game it needs to be focused on 100%.
Shout out to Kenny in the house. Just got back from the game. Kenny, what's up? We got to get Kenny on the post game. Kenny, you definitely got to come up on the post game one night. I know you've been busy, brother. Jorge, sports nights for Jorge. Check my boy Jorge out. He's always in the chat, always supporting the show. Jorge does the show as well. Great stuff. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We have 144 people in total. Hit that like button on YouTube. Make us feel happy and important. That thumbs up, that little bell, all the good stuff. Help support the channel. All right, who's going to step up here? Are we going to see Taz Washington? I want to see a little Taz Washington. I don't know about you guys. Like,
Malik Washington season. Malik Washington season. I'm telling you, we should see Taj slide into Malik. You know what I mean? Like, let him become that new Malik role, but let's get Malik Washington elevated here.
No Taj? No love? Taj love? I mean, can we see that?
Yeah. But slide him into what Malik was doing, 2, 3, 4 touches a game. Let him maybe get on some special teams. I wouldn't mind getting Malik out of a punt returner role. Let him focus on being wide receiver too. I'm not saying he's not a good returner. He's a phenomenal returner, but I would like to see what Taj Washington.
So is Estridge, though. I mean, you can kind of give that to Tyreek role to Malik. because he's swift, he's shifty enough. He's got it in him. And Eskridge, you've seen it before, so
I agree.
I think the bigger thing with Waddle being the number one guy is, like how much we've gotten aggravated with Waddle over the years with his drops and his focus drops, concentration drops. I think that's the biggest thing. When Waddle needs to be in a rhythm, and when he's getting fed the ball and he thinks he's the primary guy, he's in a rhythm. You don't see all those dumb shit you see. Yeah. I feel like when you're feeding Tyreek and then you come out of nowhere, it's been a quarter and a half since Waddle's seen the ball, and you rip one into his chest, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm part of the game." Yeah. So I feel like when you feed Waddle, he's meant to be a number one. He just really is.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was happening anyways.
He does look. Yeah, he does look like a number one for sure.
This transition was happening anyways. This was the last year of this whole thing. We didn't want to see it end like this. Obviously, we're not going to speculate, but it doesn't look good. Curtis reported he had a source that told him it's not good, not only for this year, for next year. He did specify it's nothing confirmed, but from what he heard, not good.
We all seen it.
I mean,
we seen it.
When I watched it live, I'm like, what's going on? Because Tyreek's always like invincible. You know what I mean? Like he bounces back up, but you hit the wrong side of 30. There's only so much your body can handle. But what you were saying, Jason, what did you guys think of this? Like, do you guys like this bootleg stuff? Like this bootleg stuff.
The trick play had me fired up.
It gets Tua in his bag.
The trick play had me so fired up. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, Curtis is. I'm glad Curtis is back up. Curtis, the bootleg stuff. How much do you love that?
Listen,
here you go.
Just think about. I've been saying this for like years. So just think about when you go under center and you're a linebacker playing 5 yards off. When you start playing back and he's under center, it's harder to see. And so immediately it changes your reads and everything changes. This is why Detroit runs so much under center. And so being under center, it confuses them because they haven't seen it that much. And because Tua is short, it actually comes into an advantage. And so you could see how effective it was. Will it be as effective, say, in a zone and after they get some time? But if you get legitimate run game, you'll get legitimate play action where the guys are biting and guys will open up. You've got to diversify. You can't just sit in the same stuff game after game, year after year. I loved him being on the center. I don't know if we have the tools to do it because when you're on the center, you're closer to the front and they can blow you up, which can happen with some of the guys we got. But the philosophy, that's it. Football starts in your mind. It's an image. It's a vision. And then you dial it in philosophically and then schematically, and you create the talent to facilitate that vision. And so the vision that they showed here is the right vision, is the vision that I've been talking about, so it must be right, but it is the right one. It is the right vision. It's the vision the rest of the NFL's doing. And so just from that standpoint, it's a huge step forward. Unfortunately, it's going to be hindered by the talent, but you've got to just see things philosophically first when you evaluate a game. And from the standpoint of what we saw, just imagine if you had 2 or 3 top offensive linemen, and then you had Waller in his prime or a guy like that who could actually even block, what you could get done with what you got. And so from that standpoint, I loved it. I still think McDaniel got a little cutesy. It was a third quarter. He called the end around and then the screen, and then he had the Borum hold. He got a little cutesy. But this was the closest to like a coherent game plan I've seen from him, 2 of them back to back, with some flaws, but overall it was very coherent. And you could see just the run game. The run game itself made McDaniel more confident, made Tua more confident. It does. It makes the offensive line more confident. They just want to punch people. They don't want to sit back. You're on offense. You want to attack. You don't want to sit and pass protect all day. You want to hit guys.
All the bootleg and the ball handling gets Tua in rhythm, I think.
Of course.
Yes.
It gets him in rhythm.
Yes.
It's what he did in college. The RP. It's just when he does that kind of stuff.
The RPO and all that. Yes.
That's when he's in his bag. That's when he's in his bag. And he pull out the tricks.
Only thing I'll say about him being under center is Tua's had a lot of missed snaps under center, boys. That's
he's had some in shotgun too the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that was Brewers today.
Oh, bro.
That was Brewers.
Yeah, a little high and right. Yeah, a little.
Yeah, and he was going to the left. You know.
How about when he slid and Moaga, the
Exactly.
linebacker? Oh, I said,
It's Monday night, right? Game at night.
Man.
It usually happens, right?
Yeah.
And Tua starts running, and he slides, and I'm like, oh no, here we go again. No.
Dude, that's
What-
crazy though. Look, I know it's more bang bang live than you think, and the linebacker probably
Yeah.
wasn't trying to be that malicious.
It's
But
instinct.
it's also crazy though to know that that's Tua and to see how that guy went at him and be like, dude, call you don't want to be a part of that, dude. You don't want to be that guy.
You wanted to be famous.
I got a question for you guys. So let's say Tua stays healthy all this year, and he plays kind of what we've been seeing him, and it gets a little more stable. Where are we at? Where are we at? It's really the worst thing I think for us is that we get into the middle of the pack here, and Tua is a guy that you kind of believe in, but you kind of don't. That nether region, that nether world of being like 7 to 8 wins or 6 to 8.
That's where we are. I think that's where we are.
That's where we're going to be living.
That's
look.
where we're
I
at.
don't want to be the bearer of bad news. My opinion hasn't changed, but it's good to see that there's capable of adjusting to us. I put it on Mike. I give Mike the credit here. You know what I mean? Really, for this, he got too comfortable what he was doing, but still, my opinion hasn't changed. Go ahead, whoever had their hand up, go ahead.
If the Chiefs could go after Patrick Mahomes with Alex Smith, if the Packers did it twice, we having Brett Favre and having Aaron Rodgers and having Jordan Love, and we feel like Tua physically is diminished because their arm sometimes not there. He's not as mobile. Either way, if he's still playing better, the Dolphins had to make a move, and if someone can come and learn behind him for a year and develop like Aaron Rodgers did, and so many
like
others.
he should have under Fitz.
Fix will not nurture anyone. Love Fix as a quarterback, great guy, but that's not the guy you necessarily want a quarterback like Tua to be behind. That's my opinion.
Do you remember, Jason, when I said this during our draft stuff? I said, and this great point, Sammy, actually. Treat Tua like Alex Smith. If he stays healthy, we win 7 or 8 games. He's efficient, but doesn't look like the franchise guy. Bring him back, have the guy hold the clipboard. Tua gets hurt, or when the guy's ready, you go.
We've had 6 years to figure that to try and figure that out.
But if you go up and get a quarterback like the Bills did with Allen.
Okay, but if we do that this year, Curtis, I want to ask you: is there a quarterback in this draft that you would want to get for this Dolphins team?
I don't really watch college, but I started to because I figure the Dolphins are like all in for it. There's a few out there that look they could be good, but the problem is you got. I think it was since 2003 to 2023, 69 quarterbacks were taken. And when you figure out all the busts, it's like a 61%, 62 something percent chance that they're going to flop. So it's a gamble. You got to take the gamble, I guess. But for me, you know what it is? Look, I say this, and I don't mean this like as a joke, but I'm a nobody. You get the right GM in here, a guy who really knows football, and he's strong enough to tell Ross and his cronies that, hey, look, stay out of business, and he's the right guy. He'll make all the right decisions. There's nothing I want more than my franchise to prove me wrong. I loved when Shula did it. But as it's been, even though I am a schmuck, I still am better than the guys leading this team for dozens and dozens of years, So that's the problem. You just got to get the right GM. And if he's the right guy, he'll make the right calls. And he'll pick the right guy. And he'll say, oh, there's none in this draft this year. We're going to go get a whatever. Hopefully it doesn't like Parcells and pass on Ryan. But you know what I'm saying? So there are guys out there. It's a pretty decent quarterback draft at this stage. You got to let it run through this year. But we should know better than our GM. We should have a GM that proves us wrong consistently. And we don't got it. We got a guy who proves us right consistently. Like every day, all the time, consistently. So that's what I would say. I would say, yeah, if I agree with Sammy, you go get a good quarterback, even if you got another one, because they're assets. You develop 2 good quarterbacks. Everybody wants quarterbacks. You get something for him, but you can't strike out on that. If you go and you keep Tua and then you go get this guy and he's not that good, and then you move off Tua and then you got 2 bad quarterbacks and then you don't got the right team, then you're in a black hole. So it's going to come down to the right GM. It's so hard to pick.
You got to have conviction on a guy, and you got to not be afraid, and you got to go up and get him.
Well, I got to say this. I'm convicted on Curtis, bro. I got a right leg for Curtis's GM, bro.
GM. Here's 3 quarterbacks.
For a day so I can have lunch with Dan. That's all I'd be worth, though.
First of all, we got to figure out with this NIL who's coming out. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are not going to come out. We don't know who comes out, right? So there's guys like Aller who's going to come out because he has to, and other guys. I'm not a fan of the Penn State kid. Lenore Sellers, big fan. I told Jason it reminds me of a young Dante Culpepper in Minnesota and UCF. Dante Moore, the kid out of Oregon. Kalen Green out of Arkansas. You want to talk about big, physical, taking a chance on a guy. I want our quarterback to look the part this time. You know, and look, you got to take shots. You're going to miss. But you're definitely going to miss the shots you don't take. You got to take shots. The Bills took shots on Allen. They took shots on Mahomes. You don't just take a shot to take a shot. You got to like the guy and have conviction. Yeah. But those are some of the 3 guys that I think I would like to see in this offense. Just kind of go to the new wave and treat Tua like Alex Smith. I said it for 2 years. And, you know, because if he stays healthy, he's efficient. Like,
well, you can get some from him. If he stays healthy for this year and next year.
Isn't Super Bowl caliber. Efficient doesn't win Super Bowls, bro.
No, right, but that can be your clipboard why you develop a young guy. Like if that's the worst case.
Yeah. We're
so because look, you got that contract. Are you going to be Bobby? I know you like what's the guy you like, Mateer?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Tua is a situation where he could play over a young guy and kind of let the young guy or clipboard like it's like a situation we try to move on because Tua's a little sensitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a tough call, man, honestly, because it hadn't worked in the past. It seems like anybody that's going to give Tua any competition, they kind of ran out of the building. But I don't know, man. There's so much football left, and like there's so many variables. We don't know if we're going to get screwed and end up with the 14th pick again. So like, I don't know.
My thing is I just don't feel like our place in the pick in the draft matters, because with the same GM making the same decisions, I don't know.
Yo, look at Dart. He's so good. They got him, 15th?
Let's hold on. Let's hold 25. Let's hold off on Dart.
I do like Dart.
No, not Dart. I meant the guy from the Broncos. What's his name?
Oh, Knicks.
Yeah.
Dart, like
I like Washington. I like Williams from Washington until I watched him play Ohio State.
Williams
Jr. from Washington Huskies.
Oh, the quarterback. I think you're talking about the Commanders quarterback.
Nah.
All right, go ahead, Sammy.
At the end of the day, it's like Curtis says, like I said before. Don Shula went to the Super Bowl. He had David Woodley, and he found Dan Marino. If you have conviction on a guy like Andy Reid had with Patrick Mahomes, you find a way to get it. Like the Packers go, you don't have to. You suddenly you have to believe that you had to have the number 1 pick to get a great quarterback. If the quarterback is the quarterback you want, and you have conviction and fits your system, that's the quarterback you want, and you make the best out of it. Because franchise quarterback, elite quarterbacks doesn't come out every single year. How many elite quarterbacks that you can say franchise-defining quarterbacks are in the NFL right now? Give me a second. Allen, Mahomes, Jackson. Who else? They're not 10 quarterbacks that you can say can carry a franchise for the next 5 years. So you have to have a complete team, because not every single year a quarterback that's transcendental comes to the NFL. You have to make the best out of it, because it's not cancel the season, cancel the league, and let's play it out between Allen and Mahomes every single year. That's not the way it works. So what you have to do is you have to have the conviction of the GM, of a quarterback, and the system that you're gonna use, and you go after the quarterback that fits the system. The Dolphins right now don't have that because it's a mess right now. Even my dad, who had a conviction on the system, doesn't have it anymore. So we have to wait and see.
Well, let's stick with the positive. Let's get closing thoughts here. We've been an hour and 20 minutes. I know it's late. It's 11:43. Thanks everybody who stayed up.
Yeah, I need to take my Geritol soon, man.
I gotta wake up at 5:30 a.m.
This has been an interesting show. I would say that. Very interesting show. I didn't know where it was going, but let's go around the horn here. Start with Sonny, then go Sammy, then go on the bottom. Final thoughts. We got to win. Let's try to stay positive here on the final thoughts. I know it might be hard for some guys on the bottom of the screen there, but I know the top. Let's stay positive here. Not Bobby Shouse. Not the dive bar.
It's the positivity.
The positivities on the bottom too. There. All right,
I'm positive.
Look, there's wins on the schedule. There's wins on the schedule left, but there's also a lot of tough games left. So, is it time to talk about the draft? Maybe not just yet, but there's a lot of fixing that this team has to do. If anyone is even playoffs. I mean, let's not go there.
Let's not go crazy.
But let's not go crazy. But this team needs to show improvement in areas, and they need to build off of the positives. Mike McDaniel calling good run game. Let's see what happens with the receiving position. And this defense really needs to kind of tighten up, especially against good running back. So let's see. I think they could beat the Panthers, but the next 4, 5, 6 games after that could get ugly again.
Sammy, they're going 4-4, right? You said it.
Yeah, like I said, but I'm going to go back. That this team started the season playing scared. They went to Indianapolis and they laid the courage in the bus. They didn't play prepared. They looked scared. Then they felt pressure on week 2, flying the banner of the stadium, fire McDaniel, everything, and they pooped the bed because, like I say, they pooped the bed. They were not ready for that game either, and they started playing with conviction that maybe like they had nothing to lose, so they started playing for their coach in Buffalo last week. They did not win the game, but they did not have as much penalties. They looked more prepared. The game plan was better. Tua played okay, and today it wasn't perfect. But the game plan was better. The penalties were not as much. Tua looked prepared. They look good. So this probably is the kind of team that we're expected to have week 1, but they folded. The truth is they folded. So let's wait and see. I think their wins. This is supposed to be the easy part of the schedule. I see wins in the schedule. So I said 4-4. That was with Tyreek on the roster, but with Waller now playing the way he did tonight, who knows? So I'm still gonna stick to my guns and say they're gonna end up 4-4.
Bobby.
Yeah. First of all, I love the way Sammy keeps saying what is it? I love Sammy. That's really what
Come on, bring it. Say it. Come on, Bobby. Say
I don't even remember now because I was just laughing at it. What did you keep saying over and over? Hold on.
Yeah,
sorry. It's getting late. I'm tired. He was saying something over and over. Oh, I still see wins on the schedule. It's like he's looking in his crystal ball. I still see them. They're there.
I said because I told George like a couple of weeks ago. I said they're gonna be 4-4, even if they lose in Buffalo. So I've been sticking so much to that and she said, "Well, it's crazy," and probably I am, but I'm gonna stick to my guns and say
I don't think it's that crazy, actually.
No, I
was thinking it was crazy because when I said it, you thought it was crazy. Now you
I think I'm with you on the 4-4. I definitely see that happening, but it was just funny. It's late, dude. When I get late, I get goofy. So
I don't even know. Here's the thing. I don't know how to react to
I love it.
Win show. I'm still getting used to reacting to a winning show.
It was just funny because I was just picturing you in front of the ball. Like I still see wins on the schedule.
He's got it on his whiteboard.
Ask Jason. I might do that on Fizz TV. Just ask Jason. He knows I might do that.
You got to do the whole crystal ball Johnny Carson thing, like put the thing up your head.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. We won. We're not 0-4, so in that sense, the season is still alive. Whether it looks that likely or not, we are still alive. We're still in this thing. I'll tell you this too: being able to watch the full slate of football 2 weeks in a row on Sunday made me realize that like there's a lot of bad football being played right now. It ain't just the Dolphins. If you really sat there and watched football yesterday, you're like,
Well,
this thing's wide open, boys. You got the Bengals, they're plummeting quick. You got a lot of teams that are not going to be in our way. If you wanted to sneak in and kind of get lucky, you probably could. There's a lot of teams falling off. And while we're talking about Mr. Justin Herbie, boy, he looked really normal without those tackles in front of him.
Normal.
You might even on the Dolphins. Same thing.
all right,
I can't wait for that game. No matter what happens, Twitter is going to burn. Twitter is going to burn. I cannot wait for whatever happens in this game. Oh, man.
You should see it live. Wink, wink.
all right, B, go ahead. You go ahead. Curtis goes. Final thoughts. Or either one of you guys. Whoever wants to go
Yeah,
first.
man. The only, I'm still it's still up in the air for me. There's a few takeaways. I'm still not convinced this defensive line run defense it just looks atrocious. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm curious to see how they continue to work Waller in, how things play out with Tyreek being out. I'm still a Dolphins fan through and through, so I have hope. I can see them being middle of the pack, but is that really what we want as an organization, So, yeah, Curtis, go for it.
Yeah, for me, I think I said 7 to 9 wins to start the season. I think that's sort of where we'll end up. There are, like Bobby says, a lot of bad teams, and we do have some elite talent depending on how healthy we are. We get Daniels back, but the problem is next year is going to be 2019 because we have such a cap hit, and so if we get to the 7 or 8 wins and we're going in with a mid-round pick, the team's getting stripped down. And so I think no matter what happens, unless we have a huge season, it's gonna behoove us to either have a very good season this year or a very bad season. The worst place is that middle ground because you look at the cap and who's leaving. It's going to be tough next year and maybe the year after. So I do think there's a possibility. I just don't see us getting to 10 or the postseason, but anything's possible. You got to win. We'll see. Let's hope.
Yeah, I'll close on it. I kind of agree with you, Curtis. Everybody talking about 3-4 wins. I never saw this team. They weren't as bad as the 0-3 start. Look, let's look back. Colts are pretty good. You played the Bills, and you could have won that Patriots game. They're probably, I'm with you, 7 to 9. If they play like this, the right game plan, they play kind of with effort and pride, they're going to beat the teams that they should beat. And they're going to be a 7, maybe 8-win team.
But do we want that as do we want that?
It don't matter what we want.
Do we
want
it?
It's what the realistic, whether you like to or not. I've always said this, Jason.
Typical Dolphins, man.
He raises as a floor. Tua's a floor raiser. You have a certain floor when Tua's playing at an official level like this. You're gonna win 7-8 games. Just the way it's gonna happen. They're probably gonna beat Carolina. They'll be 2-3. They're not a playoff team. My feel over the organization in general, what needs to happen, has not changed. But this
Bench
team
to a banner coming up. Just kidding.
Shit, it was up there today.
Yeah.
Did they fly it really today?
Yeah, but
no way they did. I didn't see that.
Tua, Greer, and McDaniel.
Looking for a new job.
That's not going to do anything. You're wasting your money. That's not
really. I didn't see that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I will say this, like George said, with Tua playing at this level, being playing efficient, running the ball. If this offense was playing like this and the defense came around with it, I'd feel a lot different.
Yeah.
The problem is this offense can win with a defense that's averaging, letting up 17 points a game. I don't know if that's this defense, unfortunately, at least not yet. So this offense isn't built to win shootouts, and the defense isn't built to stop really anything, right? So, if the defense was like a juggernaut and the offense came around and we're scoring 27 points consistently now, oh, look at that, 27 again. Yeah. If we could score 27, you should be able to win every Sunday. In an ideal world, you score 27, you win in the NFL. But with this defense, I mean,
that's a great point.
It's not very complimentary.
If they play this kind of efficient offense, it's not the sexiest thing in the world, right? But to me, this is where Tua lives better, potentially. Go ahead.
The thing is, the Jets lost the game. We didn't win it. That's how I feel.
It was a combination.
They played a point, but the Dolphins had, look, it's not easy to win this league.
3 turnovers.
Yeah, more than that, the penalties was crazy.
A lot of penalties.
It could have gone completely different.
I think it's easy to say the Jets lost the game, but also at the same sense, it's like we
You
didn't
make
shoot
the play.
ourselves in the foot. So credit
take
has to be
advantage
given
of
there.
it. You let the team make a mistake, and you don't.
You had to make the play. You had to knock the ball in the guy's hand. You had to
we
make
cannot
the play.
we cannot complain about the team not making turnovers, and then when they
Yes.
make turnovers, saying that they
Great
don't
point,
team lose the game.
Right,
We made the turnovers. We made the turnovers.
Exactly.
They didn't.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
what I'm talking about, Sammy.
Hey,
That's what I'm
I see a couple turnovers on the schedule. I'm telling y'all, I see a couple turnovers on the schedule.
I'm gonna have a new segment. Sammy, you can't do it on your show. I'm gonna have a new segment.
No. Depending.
Pending.
Oh, all right, fellas. We'll be back Wednesday. Jason and I with a special guest. We'll talk about something fun. At least we can talk about a win and going into a game where most likely we're favored to win. I know some Dolphin fans don't want that. Bottom line is, man, I'm tired of losing, and I like covering a win. And you know what?
winning.
You can find a quarterback. Damn it! If you have the right scouting staff, you can trade up. You can find a quarterback. You don't have to pick in the top 5 always to get a quarterback. So if you need one, get the right guy to find one. How about that? Forget about what the record is. Hire the right guy to find one, and have the balls to change.
That'll be a first in a long time.
No. All right. Well, we'll see you on Wednesday, guys. Make sure you share the broadcast, hit the like, subscribe. Check out Bobby, always in the Dive Bar podcast. Sammy on Fins TV. Curtis on Ace. Jason stuck with me as always. And our supporter of the show.
I do not do
Go ahead.
YouTube, but I follow everybody here.
But you support us. So.
See you tomorrow night, sir.
See you tomorrow, Curtis.
All right, tomorrow night,
tomorrow,
guys.
Sammy and Curtis.
We got to win. Fins up on a winning post-game show. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll see you next time. As always, guys, fins up.
Fins up.